Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the House of Happiness with moi and the unbelievable Stelios Phili right there.
Thank you.
Stelios has a bouzouki on his wall. Is that a bouzouki?
It is.
Hold on one second. It's your grandpa's bouzouki. Hold on, I'm having a slight technical glitch. And I'm no longer having a slight technical glitch. All right, so it's your grandpa's bouzouki.
Yeah, he was
That's
a pro.
Awesome. It was. You can only be a pro at bouzouki or nothing.
Right. I mean, he can still play great too.
Is that the same grandpa who I have the tapes of over here?
Yeah.
Okay, great, awesome. So everyone who are just joining us last week, I challenged Stelios by sending him a sight unseen a cappella, and then he just created a track live in front of your bewildered eyes, and then we didn't finish because it takes time to make music, like it just does. If people knew how hard it is to make a record, they'd be willing to pay for it. Anyway, so so we decided that fuck it, let's do it again. So this is the fuck it, let's do it again part. So Stelios is going to pick up where he left off for a few minutes, and then after that, I'm gonna get the session, and then I'm gonna see if I can what I would do with it to emulate the workflow of a producer mixer for you wonderful people watching this instead of watching the SpaceX launch. All right, so.
Hey, I have a challenge for you, by the way.
Okay, hit it.
So you are going to mix this in Ableton, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you're going to show us your strategy because you said you fixed it. Okay.
Yeah, I have no fear.
Okay, great.
No fear.
Okay.
All right. So let's rock. Where are you at? Can you? Hi, yeah. Rose.
She says, well, she can't hear you, but she says hi. You guys can see the screen, right?
Not yet. Mark is going to turn that on.
We just started broadcasting.
Sup, Rose? Smells nice, whatever you're cooking.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Whoa. I'm seeing a tiny, tiny sliver of the screen. There we go. Brilliant. Oh, I remember this. Can you just play it from the top to refresh everybody's memory?
Yes.
I still hear violins, still taste the tonic and the gin. I still see colours where the Kodachrome has thinned. Where does that time go? Where did that fire go from your eyes? I replay memories, merry-go memories, stuck in time. I dance with your ghost. An echo in my eyes holds on and let's go. Play, pause, rewind. I dance with your ghost.
Cool. That's where we ended up.
Yeah, cool. Very nice. Very nice, very nice. So love that reverb pad. Such a good idea. So so now that you have had a little distance, what would you do now before you're sending it to me?
I think we just need to complete the thought that we started with the verse here.
Yeah.
So for everyone who was not here last week, we were filling up I guess the mids of the verse and the pre-chorus.
Mm-hmm.
By creating this reverb synth using the guitar. So we take a specific section of the guitar, throw a lot of reverb on it, and record it in Ableton, and we get this ambient kind of sound that was really filling out the mix. Here's it with it off.
Still taste the tonic and the gin. I still see
Yeah,
color.
this makes it a little more full. So I was thinking that we should get the same thing in the pre as well, so it doesn't cut out over here, you know.
Okay.
I mean, we could have it cut out and then maybe
I
something
may,
else.
you know, my feeling is, so my feeling is that if you put it there, and I mean, I don't want you to do the work because I may cut it out to create space and to really mark the section. But on the chorus, it could be interesting.
Yeah.
Can we hear the chorus?
I dance with your ghost. An echo in my eyes holds on and let's go. Play, pause, rewind.
Like for the first 3 chords, and let that diminished chord thing, let that empty. That would be my subtle private suggestion to you on if you send me this by text, I would listen to it as like, oh, I love that texture, that's dope.
Where did you want me to empty it?
That whatever that diminished chord
over here.
Yeah.
Before.
But
okay.
Yeah. But the first 3 chords of the chorus, I'd love to have that texture as your dedicated and faithful mixer.
Okay.
It would be good for me to have.
Yeah.
If you would be kind enough to do that.
I will be kind.
Thank you. And then it allows people to see the trick again.
Okay.
There's only 3 chords, so that shouldn't take too long.
Oh, there's this one. Yeah. It'll be quick. All right,
that
guys.
That one chord, don't bother with that.
Okay.
Because I don't do a thing there, I think.
Okay. Do the thing. All right, so we're gonna put reverb on the guitar.
It's there. You have it at the bottom right.
Oh, hello. Okay.
The Valhalla is already instantiated from last time. The Valhalla.
Witness me.
It's at the bottom right in your chain right here.
Valhalla,
as French people say. Oh, use the Valhalla.
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 All right, so we're gonna do the first chord. Ooh. Okay, and then put that here. This is the second chord. Wait, I don't need to move that. It's fine.
You know, that reverb's $50. Look at that. It's just, that dude's awesome. He's so good.
Okay, got that one. This guy.
That's cool.
Yeah, let's hear it now.
But you need to mute that fourth one there, because otherwise it's going to clash with your diminished chord. This thing.
I have it mute. Oh shit. Yeah. You sure you don't want it? The diminished?
I'm not sure yet. Can I hear this? Can you double it to the second half of the chorus? So I can... As you can tell, Stelios has done this before.
Echo in my eyes holds on and let's go.
Oh,
you miss it.
I stirred you wrong. Yeah, we do miss it.
We miss it. Okay.
It's just 2 beats. Sounds nice, right? I like that
full.
texture.
Yeah,
yeah,
me too.
I dig it. I might do something, you know.
Go crazy.
Yeah. Right. I love it.
Someone was asking me in the comments on the video about how I do MIDI by typing it in, and I could explain that at some point.
I think you should do that next.
Okay.
It's important. It's the opposite of what I would do, so I think it's really cool.
Okay. My technique is mostly copying and pasting stuff.
But you're a guitar player. You're an actual guitar player.
Yes.
So that's fair. You get a free pass. So show us what you do. Show these.
Well, just in terms of the MIDI. No, I mean I can play like whatever on the piano, but just in terms of like doing this, it's like. So you want me to show that now?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So if we're making an E chord. So I type. So let's just start from scratch. I type in A, and then you copy, you paste it, you shift up, bring it down 5, and then copy, paste it, bring it down 3 like that. So like when you're really moving, you're just making the chord quite fast.
You made an A chord. Stelios made an A chord, not an
Oh
E chord.
shit! Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
I started on A. Was that actually A? Or whatever.
That's an A. Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, it was supposed to be A. Sorry, it wasn't E in the first place.
Right. So so that's. I mean, I see you do this all the time, and I'm like, wow. And you know, and at the beginning, I saw you do this. I was like, why doesn't he just go? Because that's much faster. But the reality is that in this workflow, it's not. This is faster because you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to. There's no transport running. You know what you want. You know the chord, and you put them in that way. It's cool. You do drums like this quite a bit too.
Yeah, I really only do drums like that.
Yeah.
Where I'll just do it through
the rack
for the drums. Yeah, I'll do it in the rack. I mean, sometimes I'll do it where I'll like make the track here and just do the drums individually. But I've actually have been enjoying the zenness of the drum rack lately, and I've gone back to it.
Yeah.
But the drum rack is fun as well.
I'm going to show how to, but there are limitations to this, but I'm going to show, that's part of the stuff I wanted to show today for those of you who mix in Ableton, how to extract yourself from the uniformity of the drum rack. I'll show you that in a second.
Cool. And then I just want to do a couple other things before I send this to you.
And of course, this is obvious that this is an exercise in style. Obviously, we're not copying to the rest of the whole song. We're just considering this as a case study to keep things a little more, how would I say, concise. That's the word. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
What do you know?
What do you think this is going to be? Can you guess?
I just, I love a lot of the NI stuff, but the fact that he keeps losing their samples is really a pain in my butt.
So this is the Rickenbacker bass, and what I want to do is blend the synth bass with the live bass.
And to which purpose?
Well, this bass here. Sorry. Oh, what did I do? Did I copy over the old one?
Yeah.
Or no? Did I make a new track? No, I didn't. All right, 1 second.
Undo. There you go.
Okay. So I always find that the meat really comes from a synth bass.
Yeah.
And with this kind of track, because it has an organic feel in terms of the guitar, I think that we could also give the bass that element as well. So we already have the low end coming from this omnisphere, subby kind of bass. And with the live guitar, we could just take the high end from it and just filter out all the lows.
Cool. You'll have to freeze that one because I don't have the Rickenbacker, as we know from the other project this morning.
Yes.
But I will get it one day.
I'll probably cut up to like here maybe, because we just want the flavor. We don't really need the meat. Yeah, it's kind of a bad analogy, like flavor without the meat. Okay, so
the flavor.
You want the meat and
let's stop here. All right, that's a great sound.
So that's just, it's so thinned out, but it's enough to give this just a little more juice.
When my ice holds on and let's go.
And we can dirty it up just a little more. Let's see. Let's just like finesse it just a tiny bit. No. Hey, sound toys.
So you guys notice that Stelios is not drag and dropping a bunch of plugins to figure out what he wants. He knows what the plugins sound like, and he has a bunch of go-tos that he knows intimately the sound of, and he drops in onto his tracks. There's nothing wrong with experimentation, but it's nice to have a baseline that you know ahead of time whatever plugin you're going to pull, what it's going to do for you, as opposed to just like shooting in the dark all the time.
Right. I feel I almost never, except sometimes maybe with like amp sounds or distortion pedals or something like that.
Yeah.
Other than that, I feel I almost have like a little encyclopedia in my head of which plugin.
Yeah,
to go to,
you have developed your tests and your techniques, and you apply them to your culture.
All right, now let's do the Ampex again. My favorite, the Sunbaked cassette. There should be just a cult that worships that preset.
There is. There's just very small cult of one. It's you.
Thank you.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, hiss and whatever. So these are them together. No, it's the one. I just want just the taste of it.
I dance with your ghost.
And that is just really supposed to blend with the guitar, and again, more of a felt than heard kind of texture. Okay, and then what else can we do here? So
where did that fire
this tree is a little thin sounding, so maybe we put oh wait, that's a different thing. But maybe we put let's see. Okay.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we can try. Just get the root notes back.
Can you explain could you explain or just say out loud what went through your head?
So with I was thinking that the synth bass could come in the chorus, and that could make it, that could add that fatness to it that we don't necessarily need in the pre. And the pre, maybe it's just the live bass doing its thing, and it's a little bit like less intense, especially because his whole delivery here is not as full on as it is in the chorus.
Right. So how are you going to do that?
So I took the synth MIDI, and now I'm just grabbing what the bass notes were for the synth, and going from there. Goodbye. Oh yeah, this will be a good thing to show. I mean, we can see if it needs to be more creative than this, but.
Oh, this is speed of light stuff.
Okay. And so for this part, I'll just do this. Well, so we'll make it small. Oopsies. We'll make it small, and then we copy and paste. Hey.
Voilà.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Oh wait, fuck, I did it wrong. Ooh, wait, censor me out there. I did it wrong. Hold on. I forgot that we were in triplets.
Yes. Right. So that could have been an interesting esoteric remix.
Yeah, we really.
This is already as an esoteric remix. I want to send this to Will.
We already like polyrhythms.
I'm on. I'm doing a really cool project with Will on Universal Audio on Tuesday nights called Tales from the Switch, and we're doing a.
Where does that time go?
Okay.
Will and Lewis wrote a song.
Where does that time go? Where did that fire?
All right, so what we're gonna do here though is I'm gonna I'm going to take off the Pro Q3 that I had, and I'm just going to use the auto filter. Sorry, I'm just going to use a high pass filter.
And for those of you who are paying close attention to what's going on, obviously there's a slight delay between a disconnection between what you see and what you hear because of something called the internet. But you can reconcile, right? I know it's weird to see something and hear something else, but that's the modern times. Those are the modern times. So, hey, you're going too fast. You have to explain what you just did.
Okay, so over here, because I removed the Pro Q3, which was cutting out all the lows of the bass, I'm using Ableton Auto Filter and automating it to do that for me. And then here it's all fat. Maybe we can just cut out like around here. And then let's just hear how it sounds. I think we may need to filter this as well. Yeah.
Where does that time
It's
go?
actually not bad. It's just loud. 1 second. Now I'm using Utility. This is Fab's new plugin, new favorite plugin, Utility.
Yeah.
It just makes things louder or softer.
Yeah.
He's a simple man.
I just like it. If you could be loud, anything louder.
Where does that time go? Where did
I'll tell you something else that's fun about this thing. I'm gonna just I'm gonna duplicate this and turn everything off on it because.
Hey, Stelios, something I don't know. I mean, I knew it, but I don't know it on the top of my head. Is it possible to freeze just the software instrument in Ableton, or do you have to freeze the whole thing on there?
You freeze the whole thing. But I'm going to leave this here for you, so you have the MIDI if you want it. But so this contact here, I'm going to freeze it. That's the bass, because there's latency. This has always been the case with this plugin, and I'm going to just nudge everything back to match.
Welcome to the world of making music in the 21st century. This is the 21st century, right? Because sometimes I'm confused about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe when, like, is latency just going to be a thing forever? Is that
no? Luna is fixing that. Luna is taking latency out of the picture. Look at that shit.
So it was very latent, right?
Yeah.
This is
and that's not, guys. Just so we're clear on this. This is not latency from the computer or anything. This is MIDI talking to a plugin, but there's some sort of a glitch that actually prints the plugin late, which is
it was playing back late too. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the weirdest thing.
Where does that time go? Where did that fire
sounds pretty
go?
Good, actually.
From your eyes.
Good.
Has thinned.
Just needs to be.
Where does that time go?
A little lower.
Where did that fire go? From your eyes. I replay memories, merry-go memories, stuck in time. I dance with your ghost.
Yeah, I like it. I think that's good.
That's great.
Now,
hey, can I ask you? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you go.
After you. I'm just being a pain in the ass. You're being artistic here.
I was going to say that we need something on the one of the chorus just to bring us in.
I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Could you?
This isn't the drop yet.
Could you show us your thought process on creating a transition here, a drop, something dramatic for this thing?
Right. So first, let's make the hit on the one. It just doesn't feel quite right.
I dance with your
come in like that. It's not good. So what I'm thinking we could do is maybe take a vocal and just like make that the hit somehow. I'm just gonna listen to some of them. So this note could be good to lead us in. And we're gonna make just a weird texture with it. So I'm just gonna chop it up a little bit, and then you really can't go wrong with any of the sound toys plugins. They're just
bananas.
So quick and great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring it up an octave.
We're not listening to the right track.
Oh yeah, sorry. Okay. Hello. Okay, let's try Valhalla, because you showed me this plugin. I don't know why I never had it. Valhalla delay. Let's see what we can do with it. Now I'm shooting in the dark, going against everything I said. Let's just mess around. Okay. So now we're going to compress it as well.
Why is that?
Because we want the busyness and the fullness of all of the delay to like raise in volume as well. So it's a more of a wall of sound thing. I'm gonna use this one called OTT. Oh, not this one, the other one. There's an Ableton one. Do you know what this is based off of? I don't.
I must say that my if once I see the interface, I'll tell you. Oh, it's a multi-band.
But it's very like, here's what it sounds like 100%.
Let me hear.
So compressed. And then without it.
It sounds to me like a super super steep filter, non-linear, not really careful multi-band that gives a certain amount of grip.
Yeah, right. It adds some sort of texture.
Yeah, that's because I think of the phase. I think those filters are probably not phase linear. The crossover between the bands. When we developed Sugar, at the beginning of Sugar, the filters, the between the different bands, the filters were not phase linear, and it made some really, really interesting sounds, like really, really weird, broken sounds. But since that's not the philosophy behind Sugar, then we did the work and make sure we had the best phase linear crossovers. But what I'm hearing is some of what I heard in Sugar there.
Yeah.
Something is dirty.
Yeah. So now I'm putting reverb on it at the end of the chain, because we don't want to, I mean, we could apply delay to the reverb, but that would be, I think, a little too messy. So actually, let's try putting this here.
Oh yeah.
OTT at the end. Let's cut this a little more. Let's just test it. It might sound really bad and we'll have to start over, but maybe it won't.
I dance with your ghost.
It's a little much, but we can simplify it. Hold on. Wait, let's do this. I always like to
I like it.
I always like to freeze and commit. I just like it. Feels great. It's like
I know,
getting married in Ableton.
I know, and you're getting married, but then it's a mess when you need to divorce.
We
just saying.
I
Not
know.
saying it loud.
But then yeah. It's okay. This is fine. Then we just have to work with this now. That's it. This is frozen.
So did you guys see what he just did? Basically, that effect and everything is all committed. So me as the mixer, I get it, and I can't undo, which is great. Saves me time. I'm very aware of what Stelios wants, and then if we have an issue, I can say, "Yo," and then he says, "Oh, sorry, I committed it. I can't go back."
I for things that are like, this is an effect. It's a throwaway kind of thing, but I usually just version if I'm going to do something like that for like doubles of guitars or something.
Right.
All right. Let's see. I put more reverb on this now.
But you don't do that on vocals anymore. You served me very nice.
I'm
and
done
clean.
with that. Yeah. Yes. I stopped trying with that.
Thank you.
I dance with your ghost.
Okay, this is close. It just needs it needs more echo. Needs more delay and like a ping pong delay, just to give you more juice on the sides. So again,
dance with your ghost.
I'm going to tweak it just a little more. It's not quite right yet.
Ghost. Ghost. Dance with your ghost. Dance with your ghost.
Let's use another.
So you were not satisfied with that?
Not yet.
Okay.
It's like it peters out too fast.
Yeah.
I want to have. I'm just going to put a Just the regular CLA on it, the Waves version. Just this, I use the Waves one when I don't want to use more.
DSP.
Yeah.
I dance with your
Okay, this is
ghost.
closer.
Yeah.
Let's up the reverb now. Oh, where did my screen go? Hold on.
I don't know, Mark.
Oh, it quit. I'm reopening.
Oh, you quit?
It quit. It broke.
Live quit? Or
Live quit.
Maybe it's Chris's plugin.
Come back to me.
All right. Welcome to the forced break. It's a feature. Your computer is making absolutely sure that you take your breaks.
Yes.
Do your stretches and check your email. Update your Facebook and your Instagram account. Say yes. Say yes.
Come back, my friends.
It's restoring the live set, 17%.
Yeah. He's going to be okay.
You're going to have to press play on the audio movers again so we can hear you.
I will.
Mark, are there any questions that I can answer or Stelios can answer?
Okay.
Mark is looking for questions. Well, you take your time, Stelios.
Okay. Did we lose the whole thing? Is that gone?
No.
No, I don't think it is.
No, I see it updating. Actually, you know what? It hasn't updated here in a while.
How would I network in these times?
The question is, Stelios, how would you network in these times?
Yeah, in these Corona times. Well, for me, I guess the way that I met a lot of people is in person, but I also did meet a lot of people just by emailing. I never really had much luck with DM, but I think DMs would work if you find someone you really like and they're not out of reach. Like sometimes I find that it's you can really like shoot your shot and send like a DM to someone and hope they read it. But it's really nice to find someone who's kind of on the come up and is new and has talent that you feel that you could get along with and create a partnership with. Because I think what you'll find is that most artists that are at the level they're at, they have a big team and they're very insular, and it's almost impossible to break in. It's maybe almost like not even worth trying until you're at a level where
they seek you out.
Yeah, they seek you out. So in that case, it may not be very hard to network if you're looking for people that you believe are talented but haven't had their moment yet, and you can connect with them and build something together. So to me, that could be a very realistic way of networking in these times.
Yep. I think that's the best way, which is what we're doing. Like, I mean, I have access, but to lots and lots of people, and I get called all the time. But I am still looking for, and those are projects that are great, and there's budgets, and life is good, right? But I think that I am still looking. Like I'm looking to take on like a couple bands or artists that have done absolutely nothing. You can't even find them if you look for them on the internet. And I'm looking to start from the ground up with them for several reasons. A, I really believe in them. B, it balances the universe because they need somebody to do something for them. C, if it blows up, I was there at the beginning. And actually on a couple of those, I'm inviting Stelios to co-produce, even though I can do it by myself. I choose not to. I choose to do it in a team setting so that A, we go faster, we have more fun, we have better ideas, and it's more successful. I noticed that a lot of people ask the networking question, but not a lot of people ask themselves what they've done to contribute to their network. If you contribute to your network, and it's not a callous thing, it's just like in your family or in your life or in your building. If you contribute to your environment, then you elevate the level of everything, and you become a valuable resource in your environment, and people respond. Like, we don't have to do these live streams. We really don't have to. We do them because we feel it's of value to you guys, and it's great for the community. I'm late on 8 mixes, so, and I have my inbox is going like this, and I'm going to be here for 2 hours, and then we took time to prep, to make sure that this is of value to you people. So this is something we're giving for you, and so that helps raise the community. Networking is the same. Do something for your environment, and your environment will do something for you. Stelios called me 2 years ago. Actually, Lolo was one of those, right? Lolo was a ground up thing.
Yeah.
Stelios took on this artist. At the time, there was no budget. You just worked on it for a whole year with no money.
Yeah.
A whole year. Imagine yourself, and not here and there, like a lot of work.
Yeah.
For a whole year with no money. And then when Stelios came to me, they didn't have the regular budget, but I love the music. And also, Stelios is part of this building. And I was like, I have to do this. I believe in the music. I believe in this guy. And I like how these people are carrying themselves. So I'm going to do my part to help raise the level. And I spent an inordinate amount of time listening and going back and forth, way beyond just mixing, to make sure that it would be as good as possible for them with no guarantees of return. And so that's how it works. And now Stelios and I work a lot together. I just did, Stelios was pitching on a movie. He said, hey, I'm pitching on a movie. He sent me the session. I spent time on it and gave it back to him. That's part also of coming up and trying to do, to just get better at what we do together. So that's the way you should look at it.
Right.
Just look at your environment. What can you do for these people? And then eventually you'll get lucky. Usually happens.
Yeah, that's a great explanation.
Could you press, before you go crazy, could you please go to the listen to plugin and hit transmit?
Yeah.
Por favor.
Oh, I thought I did. Did I not?
Well, my browser here tells me that you did that. You did. Okay, well, let me refresh. Don't do nothing. Start listening. Mark, do you have Stelios's audio stream? Because I do. Are we broken? No, me neither. Stelios, can you hit the master?
Yeah.
And let's look at that listen back. Let's look at that listen to, sorry. Can you log out and log back in?
Oh, you know what? The session name changed. I see.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Because you didn't save. You can save. It's
Sorry, guys. Well, now it's called Untitled. I'll send you the new link. Is that okay?
Yeah. Mark, you got it? Coming soon to text stack. Oh my goodness. Don't ever look at your text during your broadcast. Are you going to text that to me, dude?
I'm emailing it because I have my text off.
Okay, good. Let's see. This is as real as it gets, people. We wish there were no broken internet in between us, but there is. Stelios. There you go. Mark, do you want to email or do you want text? Okay, you got it. Copy. There you go. And me too. Okay. And yes, we are connected here. Okay. Let me know. Yes. Mark? Almost there. Almost there. You know, I never use ping pong. I like to see somebody use it.
Yeah, ping pong's nice. It's on this one.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
It's you can't in the sauce. It just makes it wider, but you can't really discern the discrete repeats. I like it. In the Zoom chat, absolutely. Et voilà.
Okay.
So one more second, Mark is struggling to broadcast your stuff to the world. I have it, but the world doesn't have it yet.
Okay. Can people see us?
Yeah.
Oh,
Can you hit play?
Okay, great. So now we're finishing this little sort of like a vocal crash symbol, kind of.
Yeah, much better than a crash.
I'm going to put triplets on this as well, on the ping pong delay, but to make it a little faster.
So you already, to be clear, you already had a delay on this.
Yeah, and now I'm going to put the Kramer at the end of this. I just want to make it a little more hectic. So this is that's kind of what I was hearing. Let's see if it works.
I dance with your ghost.
Yeah, let's just bring it up.
I dance with your ghost. I dance with your ghost. I dance with your ghost.
A little more verb.
I dance with your ghost.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing.
Cool, right?
Just a little thing like that.
That's good.
Now let's
do a quick pickup, and then I'll start ruining your work on this side.
I dance with your.
So for the bass, we can cut the bass out right before. Bye.
I dance with your. I dance with your.
We can just kind of go. We can just go a little classic here. We can just cut out the lows as it gets a little closer, because I don't want to put a riser or anything. I just feel that would be a little tacky for this. But we could just kind of create a little bit of a thinning out right before the drop, and that would help a lot. So right now
You're doing that on the synth, on the whole group right now.
On the whole group, on the synth group.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, I'm just touching the wrong thing. Hold on.
There you go.
Let's try that, just something subtle, just to give this thing a little bit of movement, or like sonic movement right before it drops.
I dance with your.
Okay, hold on. Going on the guitar.
I dance with your ghost.
Maybe if we kind of do one more thing here. We can create a riser that doesn't feel like a riser.
Hit it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Again with the vocals.
Stuck in time. Stuck in time.
Oh, you know what?
I dance with your.
Let's also fill this out a little bit. So maybe put an effect on time.
Stuck in time.
Because I feel this section here
stuck in time.
is calling for something to happen.
Yeah.
I dance with your.
It's a little too naked. So
stuck in time.
Let's use our new best friend. Everything sound noise. I'm just putting the wet all the way up.
So what Stelios this is? So he's actually, instead of doing a send, he's copying the part of the sound that he wants the effect on to a different track with the effect on 100%.
And I'm doing this because I don't want to deal with automation. And this is to me, this is not, to me, this is kind of like not just an effect, but almost like another vocal stem. It's kind of how I'm picturing it.
Stuck in time. Stuck in
I don't
time.
want I just want time. Let's see.
Stuck in time. Time. Stuck in time. Stuck in time.
Triplets. Let's try the pong.
Stuck in time.
A little less. Let's try the ambient setting.
In time.
And then
In time.
more feedback.
In time. Stuck in time.
Almost there. Let's play around a little more.
Stuck in time. Stuck in time.
The ping pong is too much. Let's go back to wide.
Stuck in time. Stuck in time.
And then feedback.
Stuck in time.
Oh, we could do that with the feedback.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of fun.
Yep.
And oh, that can kind of go with it thematically, stuck in time, and it's like, all right. So
how are you going to achieve that?
I'm going to automate the feedback, and then I'm going to continue to edit this just a little more.
Time. Time. Stuck in time. I dance with you.
Whoa.
Stuck in time. I dance with you.
I want this to be way more intense. We'll get there.
Stuck in time. I dance with you.
Okay, hold on. Now.
You know, you want to know something really funny?
Yeah.
I did the exact same thing on the original version.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But it's
I haven't even heard the original, honestly.
I know. Well, that's part of the joy. I did the exact same thing.
I just like learned the chords. I didn't even think about that. That's funny.
Whoa.
Oh, someone's mad. Okay. This feedback. Okay. You did the same thing. That's crazy.
Stuck in time. I dance with you.
That's hilarious. I can't believe that. So this thing right now is just a little fat sounding. So we're going to make it thinner. It's taking up too much real estate. And we'll use my good friend Isotope Vinyl, a free plugin that when you put on the 1960 setting or the 1950 or 1930 setting, it makes it just very thin. It's like a high pass.
Stuck in time. I dance with you.
And then what's it like 1930s? Let's see. Probably too much. Let's just see.
Stuck in time.
Let's do 50. But you can hear the difference. Let's do 50. And then let's make the feedback. Maybe just
very, very slightly
less.
Stuck in time. I dance with.
It takes it away. Okay, let's go back.
Stuck in time. I dance with your ghost.
At the end, let's have it like curl down.
In time. I dance with you. In time. I dance with your ghost.
Now, we'll have it go all the way. And then let's do one more. Let's just do a reverse vocal with time and just layer this effect a little bit. Because I feel that it's empty enough where there could be just a little bit more going on. So this is on at 100%. I'm gonna flatten it.
You didn't even listen to it.
Yeah, it's just, we know what it's gonna do.
Did you guys follow that? He just dropped 2 plugins onto the timeline and then flattened it. So basically printed them. And now he's, with that flatten, he's reversing it. There's a key command for that in Ableton.
It's R.
And R for reverse. There you go.
Let's just tweak it a little more. I just doubled the length of it in Ableton. Let's see what that sounds like.
So you stretched it?
Yeah. Put it on complex. A little too messy. Let's do this. Because I wanted to get to the end over here, but I don't want that stuff. So let's just warp it just that amount.
Right.
Not too much. It's close. Let's take that out. We just don't want that.
Memories stuck in time. I dance with your ghost. Memories stuck in time.
This I want to freeze this because it's hard for me to tell what's happening. Like I want to see what the waveform looks like. Right. So I don't want this stuff here. Even though I was cutting it off, it still bled over. And I felt that was ruining the drop.
Stuck in time. I dance with your ghost.
Okay, and then let's just do one more thing. I'm just grabbing a sample from my
your own
kit.
library. That's great.
This is just like a fuzzy, like a kind of like a riser, but it's very textural. There's not really, hopefully it won't be too noticeable because I just wanted to just pull us in. At the very end there, because we're not really getting that thing that throws us into it yet.
I dance with your ghost.
So it's gonna be a little longer. I just lowered it in pitch.
I dance with your ghost. I dance with your ghost.
This also needs to be longer. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna reverse it. This was, must have been like a Juno trying to make a drum sound. I'm gonna put it back to its original pitch. And we're also gonna do this Valhalla strategy, but and we're gonna freeze this as well.
It wants to do it. It wants to do it. It really wants to do it. There you go.
Actually, this, to me, like the transitions for me always come last pretty much. Maybe that's the case with everyone, but once you have everything built out, then you can really dial in and spend a lot of time on these details, because this candy is kind of what gives the track that finesse.
Memories stuck in time. I dance with your ghost.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's good. I don't think we need to spend too much time on that. Oh, what is this? Is this our thing?
Yes, that's up.
Okay, yeah. I'll leave that for you unfrozen.
Thank you.
Let's listen back. Let's see where we're at.
I still hear violins, still taste the tonic and the gin. I still see colours where the Kodachrome has thinned. Where does that time go? Where did that fire go from your eyes? I replay memories, merry-go memories, stuck in time. I dance with your ghost, an echo in my eyes holds on and let's go. Play, pause, rewind, I dance with your
Cool.
ghost.
I think maybe some more stuff I would do in the chorus, but to fill it out a tiny bit more, but I actually think that there could be enough, and this really could be enough for you to work with to make some changes.
I think it's good enough for this exercise.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're going to be here for another 2 hours, and then we'll have to bring everybody back for a third session.
Yes.
Which is how records are made, but not how this should go. Okay, that's great.
So I'm going to collect all and save.
Yes, please. So here's a fun thing. So Stelios is collecting all. That's a Ableton thing. Ableton lets you gather all the files and save them, unlike Pro Tools. Pro Tools is not that luxurious, and so that's nice. And when you're done doing that, close the session.
Just seeing, is there anything that you don't have?
Yeah, I don't have Omnisphere.
Oh yeah.
And
you need that. That's essential.
I know. Is that a good thing to have?
It's the only thing to have.
Well, I need to have it if you're going to put it on sessions like this. And then I don't have the phaser thing you use on something. I think I don't have that phaser, or it's not installed.
You have cassette?
I do.
Okay. Oh, God phaser. We use that somewhere, right? Yeah. Maybe we froze it. Let's see. It's a Germans.
Yeah.
With the God phaser.
They actually are Polish, but yeah.
Okay, sorry.
But they're good Polish. Okay. You can't just go ahead. No, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I don't see the God phaser. I think oh no, here it is. Oh, it's on the whole. It's on the whole group.
Okay, so can you use another one? Let me see God phaser. Let me see the interface for God phaser. Please. Oh.
Oh, you know what I'll do for you? How about this?
Tell me. How about you use the Santos one instead?
I'm gonna just record it for you, fully wet, and then you could use it as a dry wet. Will that work?
With a phaser, no.
No? Oh,
no.
Okay.
Could you just switch it to Phase Mistress?
Phase Mistress, yeah.
Yeah. So we have a question coming in. How did you develop the ability to hear abstract sounds in your head and then actually create them? And how does you actually generally come to it, by Adrian?
I think once you have a sense for everything, I think really understanding a plugin really helps you. Like really understanding everything that plugin can do, and understanding, because as you can tell, I have a couple of plugins that I just go to regularly. I know what the sound of Valhalla sounds like. I know that's the reverb that can make everything sound totally washed out and big. I know the Echo Boy is a really tight delay that is very predictable, whereas like H delay or Valhalla delay, I can't really tell you what it's going to do every time. It's a bit messy, whereas Echo Boy Jr. is very clear, and so I know what that's going to give me. And then so once you become super familiarized and you have that go-to, for me, I guess the simplest way I could explain is that I'm applying that effect in my head when I'm thinking about it. And just having the experience of frequently manipulating vocals like I did with the vocal crash cymbal, I have a sense that when a vocal is pitched, it has this like kind of sound to it. So I know that, okay, I know what a pitched up vocal sounds like. I know that it's going to, and I know applying distortion on it is going to make it not sound like a vocal anymore. It's going to sound like a synth. And then I know that the echo boy is going to give it this vibrating feeling on the sides of your ears. So once you have a sense for how certain sounds sound reversed, pitched, distorted, not distorted, it actually becomes kind of predictable what kind of outcome you might get and how you can manipulate a sound in your mind and think to apply it in your session then.
Good. Other question. Do you actually, by John, do you actually listen to the original song before remix, or just go with the flow with the different tracks people send you?
With this one, I don't even think I listened to it all the way through. I just deleted all the stems. I only listened just to the chords, just to figure out what he was playing so I could match that. But generally, but I don't know why with this one I didn't. I guess because the premise of this was that it would be more of like a raw thing. Like I didn't really know what I was getting, so I didn't really spend too much time with it. But with other things, if I were to remix something, I think I would spend a little bit of time with the original track and try to assess what I could bring new to it based on what it's already doing. And maybe a route that wasn't explored that should have been.
Right. So put phase mistress on so I can
do your thing.
My thing. It was on the synth group, right?
No, it wasn't. No, it was on something else. I'm forgetting now.
I think maybe the guitar group. Yeah, it was on the guitar group.
Oh, that's what it was. I deleted it already. Okay. I actually don't really use this one that much, this plugin. I often find myself using the low-grade Ableton one.
Oh, you could do that too. Why don't you do that?
Should we?
Yeah.
I like this preset, slow churn.
It's here.
Does the trick, I guess. Okay.
It's making you feel slightly nauseous. Great.
Good. That's what we want.
All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna collect all and save one more time just to be safe.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So
great. I'll X out of this. Yeah.
Yeah. So so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen as soon as Stelios stops sharing his screen. And so are you to do that, or is Mark to do that? There you go. And so I'm going to share my screen here so you can see what we're doing. And you can see here a folder. And this folder is in my Dropbox, as you can see in my Dropbox. And you can tell that the file date is 3:43, which was 1 minute ago. So basically we work off Dropbox. So Stelios just shut down Ableton, because in Ableton, when you close your last session, it shuts down the whole software, which is really weird to me. And so I'm going to double click on this, and I'm going to be exactly where Stelios was a second ago, without having to send each other files or anything like that. It's all happening in real time. It's opening on the other screen, because I have two screens. On the upper screen is the machinery, to make sure you can see what happens on the smaller screen. It's loading the live set. Live 10, coming right up. It's looking for something. And boom. So this is a way to, so he complains about Omnisphere. That's fine. And here we are. So I am now in my environment, and I'm able to look at Stelios' work right away. I'm going to make sure that the listen to is happy. Not logged in. Log in. So Mark, I'm going to have to send you that that link again. Copy link. Yep. So for those of you to understand what's going on, I have to send Mark this link so you all can listen to this. And Audio Movers is tied to the machine. So we were using Stelios's account a second ago, and now we're using mine. It's the only Audio Movers account with 500 client limit right here, because I'm special. I want to move this back up to 192, and let me know when you're ready, Mark. Mark is behind the scenes making sure that everything's cool. And you all are going to be able to benefit from this. Let me hear what's going on.
I still hear violins, still taste the tonic and the gin.
Cool. So, can you hear it? Okay, great. So we are now back up and running from Midtown to downtown. Because Stelios is in Midtown and I'm downtown. But it would work the same if you were in South Africa. So let me refamiliarize myself with this stuff.
Ghost. An echo in my eyes holds on and let's go.
So do you want me to be Fab? Do I say my opinions?
Yeah. Okay. Be a pain in my ass. Yeah.
Okay, so so I gave you the session, I think quite messy. I didn't, yes. I didn't spend too much time trying to make a nice presentation because I knew that you would be here to fix it.
Yes.
So I guess upon listening back to this track as is, what is going through your head? What is the thing you want to attack first? What do you attack first with a track? I don't even know, honestly. Like I don't know. I'm really curious what your brain says. Does your brain say, you know what, let me do the drums first, or let me do the vocals first, or since the vocals are done, what is your process here?
Very good question, Stelios. You should do this for a living. Basically, I listen to it and try and look at it, or listen to it from a bird's eye view. Does it feel like a record to me? I'm not analyzing the little details. I'm really like trying to look at the feel of it as a general. If I play this,
Ghost. An echo in my eyes holds on and let's
to me, I hear everything be on the same plane. So I don't hear any distance, and I don't hear the pocket being done justice yet. Like the drums, I think should hit harder, or at least be more detached from the background. And so what I do in those cases is I know that the vocals are great. They just sound bananas.
Ghost. An echo in my eyes holds
and I
on.
don't remember if the echo in my eyes is on the track printed or not, so I'm checking.
Did you turn Audio Movers on?
I did.
Okay.
Oh, so I need to give you the link, my friend.
Yes.
So if you look in the Zoom chat, sorry guys, if you look in the Zoom chat, that second link, that's the one.
Echo in my eyes holds on and let's go.
So it seems that
Echo in my eyes holds on and let's go. Play, pause.
So in a natural environment, let me know when you're good to go, Steph. In a natural environment, I would start tracing stuff. I hear reverb here.
Echo in my
Not here.
eyes holds on and let's
So either
go.
I printed the reverb, or there's a reverb stem, or Stelios added some reverb to it. So I keep that in mind because I think that maybe we want to play with that to make it cooler. But for now, I'm going to mute the vocals. And I think Ableton just crashed.
Oh, did you emailed me the Audio Movers link, or?
In the Zoom chat.
Oh, in the Zoom chat, sorry. Ah, hello.
You see it?
I see it.
Let me give myself a little more.
I've actually never been on the receiving end of audio movers. I'm very curious to see how this goes.
It's a special experience. I'm sure you're gonna dig it. I'm gonna up my buffer because Live is very unhappy right now.
Oh,
it's
that
okay.
might slow down the. Sometimes the UAD plugins they become latent.
That's okay.
Okay. Things might sound really wrong, but maybe it'll work.
Well, we're gonna hope for the best.
Okay.
So I'm for the purpose of demonstration, I'm gonna solo the drums. Oh, I like that. That's cool. This is the fruit of my interest right now.
Not to hold things up more, but the audio movers in
okay, 1 second. So I'm thinking I'm going to use this really great plugin called Sugar. Did you say you're not getting the tone?
I'm not hearing anything.
Are you in Safari? Don't just go to Chrome.
Okay.
So guys, this is the kick. Yeah.
Oh wow.
This is why I like Sugar. I like this a lot. Let's see what you've done on this. I think this, to me, I'm not very familiar with the LFO tool, but I want it to be more dramatic. That's what I would do. And then, I like that a lot. It drags a little, which is cool. I'm also going to put Sugar on there.
What are you doing with Sugar on there?
I'm going to make it like grittier. And that way I can lower it a little. See, now it grooves a little better to me. Or it's like it's got more of a personality. All right, and then I want to look for, okay. So I'm going to call this kick, so I know where I am. This says checker, so that's good enough. So in this rack, so there's this, okay. This, I'm interested in this. So this, in the Ableton world, you can drop a plugin on the whole instrument like this. And do it again. Ableton's happy again.
A question for you.
Yep.
When Sugar is in the red, does that mean anything?
Yeah, it means that you're clipping. Sometimes
do you like it or do you not want it to clip?
It sounds good, it's good.
Okay.
If you want to alleviate that, you can pad the input and still get the effect, you know. But that sound was already crazy loud because it's a sample in Ableton, and all the samples in Ableton are wicked loud. Something else you can do for this sound right here, you can select it, and I can use the Valhalla reverb. Have you heard of the Valhalla reverb? Very good reverb.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite Valhalla reverbs. And I'm going to use, I like the vintage verb because you can do many things with it. And I'm going to insert it on this spot right here. And on that spot, it's only going onto this one sample. And that's the joy of that drum rack.
Also, just to give everyone a sense, they know that you're not usually mixing in Ableton, almost ever. It's actually a very inappropriate kind of thing to mix in. That we do, that we have to.
I don't know if it's inappropriate. Like that ASAP Ferg track we just did came out bananas, right? Mm-hmm. And all the tricks were done in Ableton. And what I did is added this layer here. Ableton has this plugin. The problem with Ableton for me, as somebody who comes from Pro Tools, that's more of a classic gain stage environment, like, you know, old school, is that the gain stage in Ableton is really weird. And so there's no, because it's wide open, there's basically no, there's no boundaries. So you have to create yourself some boundaries. So what I did is, where did I find that thing? Audio effects.
Oh,
There's
and
something
then,
called
yeah.
utility, which is my new best friend. And so you can drop utility right here, because if you look at the gain stage on your Saturn, actually this is, let me show you this about. You were actually super well behaved on this. For this, you were really well behaved. So like you really, your gain stage is cool, but you'll notice that here, all your Saturn bands have like 4 to 5, 3 to 4 dBs of gain, and this is gain in, this is post gain. It's not pre gain, right? So this is basically your gain staging in Saturn. So if you want to listen pre and post Saturn, you can. Because you're losing 4 dBs of gain, right? So that's what I would do in this case. If you're interested in this, if you don't care, you don't care, and that's fine. Is I would bring these levels down like this to the closest to 0. Now you can really tell what Saturn is doing, which is not that much. You know what I mean? You're not longer getting those 4 dBs of gain. And what I would do is I would use utility right here. My goodness, this is a pain in the butt. And all the plugins are flying off the screen. You could use utility, combination of utility to decide how hard you're going to hit Saturn, and your limiter, whichever you choose, to get yourself into the gain range you need to be able to deliver this to the artist. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing is, most of the time, what utility is going to be for is to be padding this. So I would say, for example, it may be smart for some people to start with some gain on utility. Give yourself 6 dBs of gain here. So you hit Saturn harder. And then you can choose how hard you hit it. And as you mix, you could, and the gains creep up because they always do, then you can lower here. In utility, you can compensate and basically have a master fader before your 2-bus chain. So you can get you, yeah.
How do you know to, when you said, I know you said the gain creeps up,
yeah,
but what is the proper indicator for you to start lowering the gain?
It starts folding and sounding bad. Like when you kick, you no longer hit hard, you know? And you'll know that because, for example, this is the sound, this is why I think this would make sense for a lot of people. This is the sound of the Saturn pre-post at this level of input. Yeah. So it's a little softer without, right? Not softer, but it's a little duller without. Now this is the difference when you hit it harder. Yeah. Listen to the bass drum without. With. So it moves it forward. That's what you're doing with the Saturn. But the way a lot of people do this is because they have a lot of gain in those plugins, they can't really tell what the plugins are actually doing. And whoa, that's weird. And the other thing is, by raising these faders, you're raising the output, not the input. So you're not changing the sound of the plugin. You're just kidding your ears. So, and I see a lot of things like that are happening where, oh, it feels good. Now, you need gain. You know, you have to be able to gain manage. But I don't think that gain managing here is good, especially for something so critical. If you hit this a little too hard, this is a very interesting thing. You know, Rich Keller, who's a premier hip hop mixer, who makes all the Swiss beat stuff, who's like a, you know, big shot. That's what he does too. He has Saturn 4-band on his mix bus, and that's how he gets the grit. And he showed it on a live stream a couple of weeks ago. And that's cool. But you have to know what you're doing, and you have to be able to choose how hard you hit it. So between the utility, you can choose how hard you hit your preset, and then with the Fab filter after that, you could choose how you can compensate for it. So what I would do is I would actually give myself quite a bit of gain, starting with a song, maybe this and this. This split do have these like this, 3 here, 3 here.
Interesting.
And now you're in control. You're still hitting just the right spot. It's a little soft for this kind of clientele. It's a little soft, but it's cool. If I want it to be louder, I can just make it louder here.
So I have some questions for you.
Hit it.
So the bands that you lowered, they were all up about 3 or 4.
Yep.
When you brought them back to around 0,
mm-hmm.
So you did that. Then you took utility and you raised that up about 3.
Yep.
Is that the same thing?
No, it's not. The thing is, lowering these 3 bands, all these bands to 0 is the same as doing this, hitting the output master here, except I put your bands at 0. It's exactly the same.
So I always thought that the bands were adding
No.
like drive and distortion.
No, they are.
That's literally just volume.
If you push the drive, if you bring the drive up. Output volume. This is designed so you can have a relative output volume between the different bands.
But when you click on one of the bands,
yep,
and now go to the drive, and you can see the drive is at, the drive?
Yeah.
A little bit. The drive is at 55%. So if you're lowering that band by 3%, or sorry, by 3 dB, is that affecting the sound?
It's not. It's just making it 3 dB softer.
Okay.
This is affecting the sound, and this is majorly affecting the sound, the mix knob right here. Because in your preset, you're in parallel. This is basically parallel distortion, what you're doing right here.
Okay.
So I recommend you move to this, and that way when you post pre-post this, when you A/B this, you can actually know what's going on. And then I recommend, if you don't want to use the different drive knobs, because they're not linear, these drive knobs. Like if you're using different kinds of saturation, like clean tube and gentle saturation, this much move on that knob on gentle saturation and the same amount of move on the clean tube will be completely different. So what you want is, you like the tone of this box, you just want to hit it harder or softer. To do that, the best way to do it is to put utility in front of it and hit it, get into the box. Just like if you had just like an amp, right? You have your guitar, you plug it into an amp. If your guitar gets louder, the amp starts distorting.
Yeah.
And then you can have this very distorted sound and make it loud or soft.
I see.
Those are 2 very different things. So I recommend everybody works this way, because you can choose how much grit you get just with the gain knob, and then you can compensate on the back end with the your limiter. Right now, I think this sounds good. Yes.
So the way that the bands were originally on this faster master preset, the bass band was up, point.
So there's an offset, and it's still like that. It's still like that.
They're still like that. You preserved that. Okay.
I preserved the offset. Yeah. So, but it's been, or maybe I did not, and that would have been a mistake. No, there's still an offset. So basically, this raises the high end a little bit. And if you select all of them and bring them down, the offsets will stay. Right. Now you no longer have that gain boost that just lies to you, and then you can just A/B in peace and choose how hard you hit it from here. I would recommend to try this and see if you like it.
Okay.
And if you don't, that's fine. But it's not a problem. There's no right or wrong. There's just things that are going to work, that you're going to keep you more in control or not. Okay. So when you end up with a track and it's loud as hell and you don't know why the kick drum is not coming through, I would look there.
Okay.
I think that would make sense. So let me wait until Ableton stops crashing. There you go. So I'm pretty happy with this. Can you hang with that reverb on the thing?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So I'm going to. Like that. And then I'm going to make that more aggressive.
So you're starting on the drums with this track.
Yeah.
And
that's
any specific reason? Because that's where the groove is for you?
Yeah, that's, I mean, that's everything to me. Yeah. That's what I like. I think it has more attitude like this.
Yeah. Now, the next thing so now you have sugar on this whole thing. I see.
Yeah. So yeah, I have sugar on the whole thing, and then but I have on the kick and on the shaker, I altered your LFO tool, and then that's why if you don't want me to do that, just freeze it.
So no, I like it. But as you see, I also have this the SSL G-Bus compressor on this whole kit. Do you like what that's?
I don't see it.
Okay, so it's on A at the bottom, the effects, UAD, SSL. Go further down.
Oh, as a parallel.
Yeah.
As a parallel. That's great.
Do you like what that's doing? Is it working?
I usually like it. Let's listen to it before we make a decision. Okay. So the odd thing is in Ableton, it's hard to see the sands here. It's easier to see them here, for me at least. So if I listen to just the drums, and so Stelios has a sand to A, and on A, right here, there's the SSL. Come on down here, the UAD SSL compressor.
And this one, yeah. But you know what? I think my preset fell off. Can you go to the default real quick?
Yeah.
It says right on there. This is a fun. Oh, this is why I use VSTs of UAD plugins. So go to the actual plugin, the little square, and hit where it says default. No, just where it says default.
Okay.
The drag down menu. Yep. And you can pick the Drake master bus just for the hell of it. But
JB?
Yeah.
That's just Blaze. Okay. I think there's not enough. Basically what's going on is there's not enough, your presses is probably fine, it's just not enough volume going into it. So what I would do is I would crush it here. Slight latency issue. Have you had that before? That's because of the, one second. Let me lower the buffer. This is why when they're done tweaking it, Luna is going to change the world. You will no longer have to worry about stuff like this. Just not this week. So that's whack. Can I use a different plugin?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do the, I think I have the SSL one. Sorry, plugin. Always spot on my bundle. I rarely use this one because I'm so used to using the other one.
Which one? The UAD one?
The UAD.
Yeah.
So what did I do now? I can't get it to do things.
Doesn't sound good to you?
It's not. It sounds. I don't know. It sounds like nothing. We're just having gain. Let me find a.
Try using the glue.
Oh yeah, glue's cool, and they're very, very nice people.
I really like that.
People. Yeah, only I get from good people. These are deserving, awesome dudes. Now I can hear it. Okay, so maybe this may be a little brutish. So are you trying to have more punch, or are you trying to have more fat? What is it? What did you try to more punch? So I would slow the attack down and speed up the release, and let it hit that much, and then lower the return. So I'm not used to that workflow with Ableton yet. So this is without, with. It's not. It doesn't follow the. Is there a solo safe on this thing? No.
Okay. A what?
Solo safe. Hold on. Let me just shift. It's command click to solo both. Okay. Ah. Okay. Without. So this is giving you some gain. Without. With. This is something else that's also different intuitively in Ableton. That's why I'm struggling, is because I'm not used to doing this on the sand in Ableton. And the way the relationship between two is not natural to me, and I'm struggling. I shouldn't be struggling doing this.
So
but
you see the
in this case,
yeah.
In this case, the parallel is going to be as much part of the sound as the direct sound. It's about as much parallel as direct. Cool. Let's do a quick cursory check on what we're doing here. So you see that just this little trick has risen our gain quite a bit, but I have the offset here if I want to. I still like the way it sounds. Now, if we listen to this with and without the Saturn, see that the Saturn is eating quite a bit of our transients, right? So I can lower the input into Saturn to compensate for the gain I just gave, and then maybe turn the Fab filter on. Sorry, Fab filter is being not Fab. There you go. So now I have the snap, and I have what I need. But this made me feel like this dude here could use a little bit of, for lack of a better word, je ne sais quoi. Hold on one second. My good friends at this one tends to work. Where is it? I cannot find it. SPL Attacker, no. Vitalizer, Transient Designer Plus, because none of that minus designing. We do plus designing only.
Why are you using this one?
Because if you listen to the kick, it's just kind of a little wuss. But with the transient.
So, question for you then.
Yeah.
So you have sugar, which is
sugar saturation.
Saturation.
And also fat.
Right. And now the SPL Transient Designer, why are you not applying this to the kick specifically? Why the whole thing?
I'm on the kick right now.
No, it's not on the kick. You have it at the end.
I thought the kick was a separate track.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh, sorry. I thought I had the kick in the drum rack. Sorry.
No. I
got confused.
So
Okay.
but I could. It would sound very different if I put it on the whole thing, because it would also do it on the snare. I don't want that, because that snare is already poking through because of that that parallel processing that you wanted to do with the glue. But check this out. The other thing I could do on the glue is to high pass the key right here. Check it out. So it's not that drastic here, but it could be interesting. Check this out. This is with a full range. And then with the key high pass. It's got a little more chest. If you want, I can try and mute other stuff for you to hear it. Let's close all those groups so I can see what's going on better. Group. No, voilà. Okay, so let's mute other stuff. Where are they? There. So that's already, this feels really good as a pocket to me. Like it's really groovy and it's fat. And then without. See how it neuters the bass drum a little bit? With the high pass? Yeah. And there's a certain space because of the reverb on the thing, on the, and then the bass drum being dry in front and the clap being like that. I dig it. Something makes me want to make this a little more special or have a personality. And I'm thinking, so this is, and this, you know, what if we did something like, here's your favorite, Echo Boy. Here.
Right, I gave this to you quite dry, kind of thinking you would
exactly
mess it up a little more.
But I like the dry quality of it because it has a thing.
Punch.
But I'm not going to make it, punch, and also it's odd, right? It's got its own personality, which is always what I'm trying to look for. Beyond just trying to, hold on.
Creating a little subdivision.
Yeah. I kind of dig that.
Try the ambient dial.
That's cool too. Let's try that. Now. I like that. Cool, let's do ambient. So before, with, yep. You know, so now it's a weird sound, and he has that snap with that thing in stereo. I haven't heard that exactly like that before, so it's ours now. You know what I mean? It's got more personality. In the reality of the workflow, half the time when I do that, I send it to the producer, and the producer's like, "What did you do to my snare? Get rid of that crap." And then I do, but I always will try something. But now I feel like there's real space, you know, like I hear more stereo and more front to back, and I dig it. So let's see what the bass brings us. Sorry. Drum group. Yeah. So this guy is a little woolly, the Moog or whatever it is, the Omnisphere. So I'm going to use Q3. I can't because it's So I'm just going to pack a folder with this track to be able to cue it. Group track. Little known fact, if you group one track, then you can now put a plugin on something that was frozen. It's nice. Then starting to sound a lot harder, like that. This I don't like. Try that. Sorry. And then I think here it's time to be unpleasant. I think that. No. Then I'm thinking here, so CH Rickenbacker, and then let's call this Moog. It's not a Moog, I know, but let's not be detail oriented. Then I want to put bring back a crowd pleaser, and maybe do this here. That feels good. So we were here. Sorry. Now we're here. Yeah. Maybe a little less. So that, yeah. I didn't hear you. I can't hear you anymore. I lost Stelios. I lost my beacon.
I unmuted myself. So for the bass, you cut around that 50 hertz range just to give room for the kick.
Yeah, and also because I don't think that was necessary for us to really understand what the bass was doing. Like, to me, if I listen to this, and I listen to this, unless I'm trying to do that James Blake thing when I'm trying to blow up your speakers in that one song, I don't think there's value there. And so until somebody tells me no, and that certain person could be me, I will try and clean it up so that I have more room for other shit. But yeah, I'm at 30, and look, check this out. See, that's yummy, but it's also woolly. It has a resonance to it, which if you play it loud would be a real problem. So without, it sounds leaner. Notice how it no longer goes, no longer has that ring. But then in the track, if you do it this way, it kind of like sits behind and moves forward this way. But if I turn that direction off, no, it's all in the forehead. It's in the way. It's going to be in the way of the vocal. It's just going to feel like it's, when you're trying to have a conversation, there's somebody in the back of you, right next to you, having another conversation and like being distracting kind of vibe. That's the way I felt about it. So I like it better. Maybe I was too brutish about it, but we got to negotiate that. No, I think this feels good. Let's see how this feels with les vocales.
Ghost. An echo in my eyes holds on and let's go.
So placing vocals on headphones is the worst possible thing you could do in the history of the known universe. But we don't care. We have no fear. As you said it earlier, no fear, right?
Ghost.
Mixing with earbuds, right?
An echo.
At this point, I am.
That is
Yes.
totally crazy to me. I could never do it.
It is not. It's definitely not for the weak-minded.
You don't have one of these guys by you?
I own a pair. I just don't know where they are.
Oh no.
And also, plus it's chaos here because of quarantine and all that stuff. And also, I know these pretty well.
You know what they sound like.
Yeah, that's what I check all our work on. You know, morning I get up, I make myself a cup of the coffee, and I put the thing into this piece of shit, and listen to what we did the day before, because this piece of shit is what the rest of the world is going to listen to this music on. They're not going to listen to on a $18,000 pair of key speakers or even semi-decent hi-fi speakers. They're going to listen on this piece of shit or Sonos systems or stuff that just has nothing to, or the worst, absolute worst of all times, the Apple in-ear wireless earbuds that Mark has in his head right now, for example. Just saying. So that's how, like, I'm making a record right now with this amazing French Algerian artist, another French Algerian artist named Nesrine. She's great, and I'm doing it live on the Tales from the Switch for Universal Audio on Tuesday night. I'm literally mixing her record for her label and chronicling it on camera. And the first session, I was like, that she came on, and she's been sending me feedback, like more bass, more bass, more bass, more bass, more bass. I'm like, okay, no problem. You like it fat? No problem, no problem. And then she comes on camera and she's got this, the Bluetooth Apple Earbuds Pro. And I was like, more bass, right? You want more bass? and the fact of the matter is, it's a double-edged sword. You can dismiss the feedback. Oh, well, if you're listening on this, you have no idea what you're talking about, which maybe in the past I would have done. But right now I'm like, well, she listens to everything on those crappy things. So that means that, and half of the world is listening to everything on those crappy things. So I have to make sure that those crappy things, that my shit sounds good on those crappy things.
I just had a thought.
Hit it.
Would you be able to create the, using Pro Q3, create the EQ scoop that a pair of Apple headphones creates and have that so you can A/B in your session?
There are plugins that try to do that. I mean, with Pro Q3, you could eventually do that. You could also just get a pair of those and check your mix on those before you send it out,
right?
Which would be easier. Because I'm not mixing for those. Because if you mix for those solely, then when they play on something else like a car stereo,
yeah,
then you're gonna blow up the engine.
Right.
So that's why mixing, it's really difficult. You gotta shoot right in the middle, right? You gotta shoot in something that sounds great to you, because otherwise you spend a whole day making something sound like shit, which is not a good, fun way to spend your time.
Right.
You gotta make sure it translates. In this case, we could imagine it should translate to Beatport, because this is the kind of stuff that could go to Beatport, on the edge of the Beatport, territory. And something that sounds good against his records. So there's no absolute anything. There's a target destination, and so then there's my taste. There's your taste that I know and I want to hit in that taste. So it's like all these parameters are together. But the fact of the matter is mixing on this should, in theory, make more sense, because this is the destination of our music. So if you find a pair of these that are not limiting, that don't hide, then this is on window. You can think of this as a window to the world, right? So if you have a window to the world, you have to decide how small or big you want your window to be. You want the biggest possible window Otherwise, you're going to miss the top and the bottom and the left and the right. So these are the focal spheres, and they're the most, to me, manageable. But I can't place vocals on them because there's no, the vocals are placed in I don't know why. My brain doesn't function that way. Some people do. Andrew Sheps can. Andrew Sheps does all his work on 7506s, old Sony that I thoroughly despise. And he loves them and he's very successful with them, you know? So it's also a matter of how your brain functions, your attention span, your ability to gauge distances and stuff like that. So let's listen to this again. Good question, though.
Ghost. An echo in my eyes holds on and lets
So to me, I want more drive. This is not it. Rick. So this is a case, for example, what I would have loved for you not to low pass so much, high pass so much, and you printed it. So in this case, all that's left for me to do is complain, which is my birthright. I still can't hear you.
Actually, I have a fix for that.
Yeah, what's that?
But actually, you don't have the bass, do you?
I don't. Because you said
I didn't delete it. See, I copied it there.
Aha. But that's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna ghetto it.
Ghost. An echo in
But that's not gonna work. Yeah.
Ghost.
Yeah.
An echo in my eyes holds on and lets go.
This is without.
Ghost.
With.
An echo in my eyes holds on and lets go. Play, pause, rewind, a dance with your ghost. An echo in my eyes holds
I really
on.
dig this. Mark, do we have any feedback, questions, anything while we torture this poor song into being what it wants to be?
Where?
Oh. Stelios.
Yes.
I'm reading the questions. Might be odd to, this is for me, sorry, dude. Might be odd to ask, but is the chorus the initial start of a remix? Or maybe you might start with the lyrics or melody you like first. I know that's for you.
Oh, generally that is a great place to start. With this particular song, I was laying down the guitar first, which I considered to be the foundation of the track. And I knew that the chorus would have that regardless. So I guess for no specific reason, I initially started with the verse guitar, then I did the pre-guitar, then I did the chorus guitar. But after that, we went straight to the chorus and did the drums there, because that really is the meat of the song.
Right. Say in a different situation, if this were more a real life situation, how do you decide where to start? Is it based on inspiration? Is there a technique? How does it work for you in your head?
For me, it's about creating enough parts out of one thing. So I'll start with, let's say, 8 bars, and then sometimes it depends what is the point of inspiration. So let's say I'm playing something on guitar and I think, oh, you know what? I want this to be a guitar-driven track. I really like this. I'll lay down the guitar first. Or let's say I'm playing some chords on a piano or on a keyboard and I'm like, great, this is the sound I want to build around. Let's say I haven't found the chords yet and I'm looking to get inspired. I'll start with the drums and I'll do the drums first, and then the drums will tell me what what is the rhythm supposed to be of the guitar or of the synth. So the drums will dictate what everything else is going to sound like rhythmically, sonically, because I'm trying to match what the feel and sound of the drums are. And then once I have the track built up, so let's say I've started with the drums, after that, I'll do something in the mids, like a guitar or a synth, and then I'll fill out the lows, because I usually want the lows dictated by what's going on with the chords. And then once I feel a proper vibe has been established and I have all the elements I like, I have drum parts, I have bass, I have the synth or a guitar, and I have enough parts where I feel now I can actually mute some things and create different sections. Then I'll create basically like a writing loop, and I'll have 8 bars where it's some of the things happening. Maybe it's just the drums and there's no hat and there's bass and maybe that's it. And then the chorus happens and I have all of the other elements, the other drum parts, the synth parts and all that. And now I have at least 2 different sections that will inspire different vibes when I'm writing to them. So one section with less stuff will inspire me to do something that is more versy or pre-chorusy, and the section with more stuff will inspire me to do the chorus. So in general, once you have enough material to create different sections and to feel a mood switch between them, that's when you can really start to dial in on the melody if you haven't written that already yet.
Right. I think for me, listening to the stuff you do, the value of it is there's always something original and special, a great idea, some nugget that makes it special and that makes it like something. There's always, in all your productions, which is why I like working with you, there's always something like this going on, like this shit you just did the other day. There's always something like that, and it's not borrowed, it's always new. So do you develop tricks like this, or like techniques, or do you listen to stuff, inspire yourself and find your own vision on that? But there's always something in all your production, every Lolo track, all the Bloom tracks, all the produced tracks, there's always one sound or one something that is smart, that has what I call smart, and is that it's that projects a certain vision or a difference. So do you do that knowingly, or is just like, is there a longing in you that say, oh, I have to do something special? How do you process that in your brain?
Well, I guess for me, I'm always trying to communicate what my taste is into the music. So let's say I'm doing a trap song, for example. We know what the core elements of a trap song are. You have the trap snare, you have the kick, you have the 808 hi-hats, you have the bass. So when let's say I'm making a beat that's like that, I'll think, well, what's special about this compared to anyone else? What is going to make this? What is something that I can do that maybe no one else will think to do? And understanding where your song fits in the realm of that genre will help you figure out what you should do different. So let's say, again, so if it's a trap song and that in that realm, the sounds are pretty well known. Like that's what makes it a trap sound. If you have that snare, if you have the hat.
Yep.
So if you have a major track different in the drums, then something has to be different in the mid to the high end range,
right?
Which would be the synth sound or the guitar. And you have to think, well, what am I going to do that is going to be different there? And if you haven't done anything different there, if you're using if you're using a sound that doesn't feel totally unique to you, then you think, well, what can I do in the drum section that is going to be special and different? And you think, well, most songs I hear, the drums are quite clean and crisp. So you think, well, why hasn't anyone made them? I mean, this has been done in certain songs, but not too frequently. What if I just totally crushed the drums and created a send where it's the drums that have like decimort and have devil lock and have all these crazy distortions on it, and I use that and I blend that with the clean drums? What would that sound like? And that thinking is like, well, what if I have a more like punk sentiment brought into this track where it's raw and distorted and not just a crispy, you know, what can I do to disrupt? Yeah. So I think that is I think at this point for me, a lot of that is like built in to when I'm working. At some point it wasn't, but that's something that comes over time. That question, is this different enough? Have I disrupted? Have I challenged what people normally do in some way?
Yep.
Is this like everything else, or did I make something pastiche? Am I imitating something that's already out? And so these questions are important to ask yourself because it pushes you to do something a little different. And I think usually for me, I think about it less because I follow my taste, and in my gut, if I haven't done something that's totally different, I'll feel it, and I'll feel this isn't special. And if I don't know what that answer is, maybe I'll ask Fab or something, or ask a friend and just say, hey, you know, what do you think about this? Like, and usually someone just saying, well, you know, I was trying to make a track the other day, and I asked Fab about it because I was running into a wall. It was a song that had like, I was trying to make it sound, I was trying to make like a song that was like mostly a punk song that had maybe some of the feel of like a hip hop track. And what I was doing was making it, I made the drums not any trap sounds, but it had kind of a trap pattern, let's say. It was like, but it was in double time. So it didn't really have a trap pattern, actually. It just had more of a hip hop feel, but they weren't any trap sounds. They were like industrial, and it had guitars. And I sent it to Fab, and he was like, this just sounds like Nine Inch Nails. And I was like, oh, all right. That's not the answer here. And so he's like, just try using some, like, that's when I tried to be too different and ended up just making something that sounded like old and not right. And he was like, well, why don't you just try using, like the classic trap snare or hat? And I was like, okay, yeah, let me try that. And then it sounded good. And then I sent it to the artist, and she was like, I like this, but the drums could go harder. Why don't you add live drums on top of these drums? And I was like, great. So sometimes the innovation can come from you, but sometimes it's also a collaborative thing. And I often find that if you're stuck on something, you need another set of ears to help push you through. And if you don't have that set of ears, sometimes you can get that new set of ears the next morning when you have that space from it. But the reason why it's great to collaborate with people is because they have the space from it already and can tell you in real time.
It goes way faster. Way faster. So yeah, way faster. So this, my friends, what you just heard from Stelios is the stuff you can't get at school, or and it's hard to capture in videos too. So what you just heard is a very good insight on creativity. So
my friend who's watching this is telling me to say music is a team sport. It is.
That's my line.
I
Who's
know
your
it's
friend?
your line. Shout out to Ryan.
What's up, Ryan? Okay, so let me. I love your guitar pad. It's so ominous, like.
I still hear violins, still taste the tonic and the gin. I still see colors.
To be very honest with you, since the beginning of this is how I hear the beginning of the remix. No drums, nothing, just this. I mean, how cool is this? It's just my opinion. I share it mostly with myself at this point.
I still hear violins, still taste the tonic and the gin.
I like it.
It's cool, right?
What if you put in the
colors?
What if you
the
just give it a little more anchor? What if you put in the synth as well and you filtered it?
Let's do that. So hold on, I have to set up the Valhalla.
I still hear violins, still taste the tonic and the gin. I still see colors.
So the synth only, I don't remember because I was not paying attention. Where is that synth? There's no
yellow
synth.
Guy.
It's
yellow
the,
synth 2.
Yeah. How are we doing on the chords?
The chords. Oh wait, those are different chords,
Different
aren't
chords,
they? But aren't some of the chords in there? Couldn't we chop it up?
Well, you could chop it up and then send it to me.
Yeah.
We do that a lot. But don't open the same session, please.
Okay.
Copy the session. If you want to, it's not bothered. This is an exercise of style.
Okay,
but yes, it would be nice. What we could do.
Wait, do I have the MIDI for this violins?
No. Still taste the tonic and the gin.
I like this a lot.
I still see colors where the Kodachrome has thinned. Where does that?
This is gonna be so good. I have a something stupid I want to try.
I still hear violins, still taste the tonic and the gin.
Kind of dig that.
I still see colors where the Kodachrome has thinned. Where does that time?
Obviously, I have to do something here. That's understood. So let me get my bearings of the bass. So we don't need the guitars yet. I think I'm going to mute this bass for now, but I'm going to turn it back on no later than very soon. It's here, right?
Where does that time?
No.
That fire go? My memories, merry-go memories, stuck in time. I dance with your ghost.
Yeah, let me mute this for the moment. I know this is not the fastest way, but this is the way my brain functions.
Where does that time go? Where did that fire go from your eyes? I replay memories, merry-go memories, stuck in time.
That's easy, but I thought I could be clever here, but no. So let's see how this works.
Where does that time go? Where did that fire go from your eyes? I replay memories, merry-go memories, stuck in time. I dance with your ghost.
Do you think the thing could withstand the whole intro to the chorus without the bass drum or the guitars? Check it out.
I still hear violins, still taste the tonic and the gin.
Yeah.
I still see colors where the Kodachrome has thinned. Where does that time go?
See, I should have let you make that pad for the pre-chorus. I can't hear you. I can see your lips move, but I can't see you.
But what if you put the guitar back?
Yeah, so
Maybe it would work.
from the top?
No, just in the pre.
I still hear violent, still taste the tonic and the gin. I still see colours where the Kodachrome has thinned.
If the pad continued, it would work amazing. But so I should have shut my mouth and let you do those things. It is what it is. So and then so since that's not working, I have to let's put the kick back in. Maybe that will work.
Where does that time go?
Maybe what I can do is I can do some recycling, because we are very earth conscious producers and we recycle things. We don't let anything go to waste because it's not good. Where's that riser? It's in the synth group, right?
No, I think it's further up in the vocals.
Oh yeah. Hi. Come here often. There you go. So I'm gonna pick this one, which is the one that is not the most and yes, I will do that while mixing. And yes, it's okay unless Stelios complains.
Kodachrome has thinned. Where does that time go?
I'm hearing Stelios complain so far, so I'm going to keep going, pretend that everything is great.
Where the Kodachrome has thinned. Where does that time go? Where did that fire go from your eyes?
Those guitars.
I replay memories, merry-go memories, stuck in time. I dance with your ghost.
That's a really nice progression, I think. It feels really good to me. And let's see the guitars.
Where does that from your eyes?
They feel a little, not dry, but they feel a little like they could use some love. So
yeah,
in those situations, this could work. You never know.
Where does that time go? Where did that fire go from your eyes? I replay memories, merry-go memories, stuck in time.
So that's pretty nice.
Where does that time go?
Without? I like this immediacy of it, but I don't think it works in the track. With this?
Fire go from your eyes. I replay memories.
Now they're a little bit loud.
Where does that time go? Where did that fire go from your eyes?
Pretty awesome.
Where
Transition.
I still see colors where the Kodachrome has thinned. Where does that time go? Where did that fire go from your eyes?
this is beefier. I like it.
Yeah.
I replay memories, merry-go memories, stuck in.
I just had this idea.
I dance with your.
What if we started
I still see colors.
like this?
Where does that time go? Where did that fire go from your eyes?
You know, and then I put filter freak on the whole group,
Okay.
and I would like to automate it. Filter frequency. He knows that's what I want to do. Oh, you're so smart, Ableton. To do this, and then slowly raise the filter, and then give it a thing here, like this.
Where does that time go? Where did that fire go from your eyes? I replay memories, merry-go memories, stuck in time. I dance with your ghost.
Hi, Colette.
Yeah.
How are you doing? Hi, Colette.
says hi. She says she
Colette.
wants 20%. She's
Yes.
been on the couch.
She was on the couch, so she's a writer. She's a co-writer. Yeah, yeah.
She's a co-producer too.
Co-producer too. You know, my friend David Kahn, who's a luminary and amazing, amazing producer and has so many good stories, told me that one of his artists, who he had been working with for a long time, contemporary artist, big artist, won't say the name, I promise, sat him down and said, you know, I'm glad we finished with the record. It's great. I just wanted to talk to you about a co-producer credit. And David Kahn, who's unflappable, you can never catch him off guard ever. Just looked at him and said, yeah, absolutely no problem. I wanted to talk to you about a co-artist credit. Can we do that? Is that the best thing ever? Oh man, that made me so happy. Yeah, co-producer, that's great. This just can we discuss a co-artist credit? Because
what did they say? They laughed and they were like, "Okay, you're right."
No, that dude had no sense of humor whatsoever.
Well, he got mad?
Yeah. Is that awesome? And also the thing that's amazing is David knew that he was going to get mad and did it on purpose. That's mad client management skills right
ballsy.
There. I love it.
You can only do that if you're Beyonce, I feel.
Yeah.
Or
so
Kanye.
Colette, you cannot. You can only get co-producer artists if I get co-dog, and as much attention as you do. Yeah, I do have the hair like this right after I wash it though.
Yes.
So I'm 50% there.
Just about.
I still hear
I love this
violins, still taste the tonic and the gin. I still see colours where the Kodachrome has thinned. Where does that time go? Where did that fire go from your eyes? I replay memories, merry-go memories, stuck in time. I dance with your ghost, an echo in my eyes holds on and let's go. Play, pause, rewind, I dance with your ghost, an echo in my eyes holds on.
Was on loop. I always forget the Ableton loop thing. I love this. I think this to me feels good, it hits hard, and has good progression and has more personality.
I dance with your
I just jacked up the vocal effect because I love it. Actually, you know what I'm tempted to do? Don't tell anyone. Don't tell my mother I'm doing this, okay? She'll take me off her will. I'm going to use a Pan Man on your special effect there. Because this is why I make records, to be able to use Pan Man on stuff. Just solo it because it's best in solo.
You know what I really like is the Ableton Auto Pan.
Oh, I don't know that. It's experiment.
It's so
wrong.
No, just like basic. It's the most basic thing ever. It's so easy to use. It's so predictable.
All right. Amount. It was better if you actually turn it on. Amazing.
And you know what you can do that's fun? You can automate the rate so that the rate goes like, and it creates this whole other thing.
Let's do that. So if I imagine that doing that should be fun. There you go. That's light and tasteful. Here we go.
I dance with your ghost.
Now this calls for it being le loud.
I dance with your ghost.
I take it, man. This is good. I shall recycle this.
Yeah.
I dance with your ghost.
That's fun. Nice.
Yeah, it's fun. So let's see where we are with the level. And then it is, unbeknownst to everybody here, 5 p.m. I'm sure Colette is very in touch with the fact that it's 5 p.m. and she hasn't gone out in a while. I think. Let me see the levels. She holds it good.
She holds no. She
Dance with your
holds it for you. She's like, "Is Fab done mixing? Because I don't want to miss this." She's okay. She went out.
Play, pause, rewind.
We're in the zone that if we send this to Will and he just listened to the latest Kesha record, then this will be okay with it. Although Will does not listen to Kesha that much, I don't think. And I feel that I was able to respect Stelios' vision, but add some stuff. And I had the feedback in real time, which is usually I'm by myself. So this is nice. I feel that this is probably a good example of how we can go from just an a cappella to a cool sounding remix in not that much time. I'm gonna have to let Stelios go because otherwise Colette is gonna do unspeakable things to his floor, but this has been really cool. Thank you so much for your time, Stelios.
Yes, thanks guys.
Thanks for having me. It's awesome. We will be back tomorrow with Adam Hawkins, who mixed all the 21 Pilot stuff and Muse and a bunch of stuff like that. And I will be back here, well, not in this room, in that room over there, on Friday at 2:30 p.m. to cook a ratatouille live. And those of you who are watching can probably get the list of ingredients so that you can follow along. That's the idea. You should follow along. So get the ingredients. I'll make sure that my good friends at Puremix post the list of, they're not going to post the recipe, they're going to post the list of ingredients, and the recipe I will do live on Friday because, as we said earlier, we have no fear. Voila. All right. Thanks a lot, Stelios.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
And Mark, since you're in charge, Mark wants me to say goodbye, leave Zoom, and play from the top. I'm going to do just that. All right. Ciao, everyone. See you tomorrow. See you Friday. Thanks,
Bye.
Stelios. Talk to you later.
Bye, guys.
Ciao.
I still hear violins, still taste the tonic and the gin. I still see colours where the Kodachrome has thinned. Where does that time go? Where did that fire go from your eyes? I replay memories, merry-go memories, stuck in time. I dance with your ghost, an echo in my eyes holds on and let's go. Play, pause, rewind, I dance with your ghost. Have I lost favor? Am I at least